This next news story comes to us from VGC, written by Jordan Middler. Ex-PlayStation boss says platform holders must do more to restore AA games category. Former PlayStation executive Shawn Layden has said that platform holders must do more to reconstitute a AA category of gaming, as the cost of creating blockbuster games continues to increase. Layden, who during a 30-year career at Sony served as CEO of SIE America and chairman of Worldwide Studios, told VGC at Gamescom Asia that platform holders such as Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo must do more to foster games between the Grand Theft Auto layer and Among Us layer. The former executive, who currently advises companies such as Tencent, believes that by encouraging the creation of smaller scale games, platform holders can help alleviate the budget and team size issues currently facing the AAA games industry. Game budgets are not going to remain in the triple-digit millions, Layden said. Let's say $20 million with the current level of gaming development skill. It's gotten higher than it was 10 years ago. We have a talent pool that we can reach into with the right budget and lean into it for the variety. Don't make a bunch of AA first-person shooters set in World War II. That's not going to move the needle. But giving us more interesting opportunities, give me more things like Firewatch, those kind of games. Layden's time at PlayStation saw the rise of the platform holders' largest franchises like The Last of Us and Horizon, but it also saw Sony focus on and provide development support for many independent titles. Layden believes that more variety is needed to tempt future players away from the established live service giants. According to a report this year, 60% of all playtime in 2023 was spent in games that are 6 years old or older. We're trying to get more people into playing games. Clearly, people are not playing games, and they're not playing games because they're not interested in what we're giving them. What we're giving them is sequels to the things they were interested in. I don't think that's going to get them through the door. Layden also discussed the industry's need to find new sources of revenue if consumers are unwilling to pay more for games. In 2020, some publishers used the move to the next generation of consoles as an opportunity to increase the price of standard games from $60 to $70. While this hasn't been a universal change, most large publishers have now adopted the $70 price point. When it costs $5 million to make a game, you can charge $59.99. When it costs $125 million to make a game, you charge $59.99, Layden said. So the math doesn't work. You end up having your cost and revenue streams at a break-even point. It's not a healthy model, but the gaming community said they don't want to pay more than $60 for a game. That led the industry into this place of, well, how do we get them to continue to spend? What is a DLC? What are the microtransactions? How do we get battle passes? How do we sell subscriptions? For some, they made good decisions around that. Others, as we've seen, haven't, and we've seen blowback for companies charging crazy amounts for DLC and season passes that have no benefit. So I think we're running up against a wall now. If you're going to make a $150 million AAA game, you're going to have to make a sequel. Your ability to take chances or make a game that no one's ever heard of before at that cost, it's getting very difficult to do the math on that, particularly when you have companies more and more being run by chief financial officers rather than the chief creative officers become CEOs.
Gotcha.
True. Layden also told VGC he believes that games console power arms race has plateaued and that a majority of consumers are not interested in marginally more powerful machines. We've done these things for this way for 30 years. Every generation those costs went up and we realigned with it, he said. We've reached the precipice now where the center can't hold. We cannot continue to do things that we have before. Layden thinks that in order for the console market to remain healthy, it must also appeal to a broad audience and consumers who weren't previously players. It's time for a real hard reset on the business model, a hard reset on what it is to be a video game, he said. It's not 80 hours and not 90 hours, but if it is, that's a whole different category. Oh man, Shawn Layden, he is the PlayStation boss that we didn't deserve, but we got him. We had him for quite a few years, and sad he's gone now. Very sad, because I pretty much everything he said there, I 100% agree with. Right? Like, is there any part of that where you're like, I don't know about that? Like, no, like pretty much everything he says there is like, that's spot on, you know?
Yeah, I hate it when people mention my president. of the company, aka Shawn Layden, who should be the rightful president. Because it just makes me like so upset that they had the answer to all these issues that they're having right now, right here with him, but they chose to go the other way. And now look at where they're at. They're in a rut. So,
yeah, I mean, they straight up kind of rejected anything he had to say once he was out. Obviously, while he was in there, like they worked with him, but like once he's out, it's almost like it almost felt like they purposely just like, let's do the opposite of what he was doing.
Somebody watch the clock to see what's going on. He's doing this. We're going to do the exact opposite.
Yeah. Like they were just like taking notes the whole time he was in there. And then like, as soon as he was out, he's like, all right, here we go. 180. It's Papa
He's having
Yui.
breakfast. It's dinner time.
Papa Yui right here. We're going the other direction, baby. And I just don't get it because PlayStation was very successful. It had its downturns as well. Like, yeah, it had its rough spots, PS3 era, stuff like that. But in overall, it was extremely positive. And I don't know. It just is wild to me to think like, no, throw all that was learned, throw it away, start over. I just don't get it. A lot of wisdom there. And that's one thing. So to kind of talk on specifics, one things I wish PlayStation would bring back is their indie support. I miss
PlayStation loves indies so bad, dude.
They had the little indie showcases. They would straight up just help produce and publish games for indie developers, through PlayStation. It was such an awesome program they had. And it's just like, they just ignore indies now. Like it's just, they don't give a crap, it's the last thing they care about. It almost feels like, which is just evident by going to like the PlayStation store page on you go to pop open your PS4, PS5, go to the store page, and you're not going to see like any little indie games on there. Like, it's all the big AAA bombastic, some blockbuster games, and just
they've been relegated to the back.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing I wish they would bring back, like exactly what he's talking about, AA, or even like just indie or like a bigger indie initiative. But I don't know. What do you have any more thoughts you want to add to this? Anything you want to highlight from what he said that you liked? Or
I mean, I honestly can just sum it all down to they picked the wrong president, and now they are facing the wrath of their actions, or the consequences of their actions, when they could have avoided this, but the dollar signs were too big. Yeah. Now here we are.
Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.